So the Mandalorian cast is being cancelled, the whole thing, and it's really starting to make me think more and more that there's a conspiracy within Lucasfilm to end the Mandalorian and to end the entire Filoniverse. There's something shady going on here. So obviously we all know the story of Gina Carano being fired for having an opinion on social media, and everyone was so outraged over that happening. Everyone that liked the Mandalorian or liked Gina Carano or Cara Dune as a character didn't agree with the firing of her. Or maybe you just believe in free speech in America, but all of those people came together to say that we don't like the firing of Gina Carano and we don't support that firing. Well, Lucasfilm heard us, the cancel culture mob heard us, and their response to that is to cancel more Mandalorian actors. First they were trying to cancel Rosario Dawson, and now they're trying to cancel Bill Burr for nothing, for making a joke. He's a comedian. I don't know if you know this, but that's kind of their job. Bill Burr gets paid to say edgy stuff, and what he said isn't even bad. But why does it seem like they're only going after Mandalorian actors? Why does it feel like in my mind it's inevitable that they're going after Carl Weathers next? This has to be some sort of conspiracy within Lucasfilm to take out the Mandalorian. It just has to be, because there's no way that you can tell me that no one in the sequel trilogy has done or said nothing in their past that's cancelable, because the smallest thing now can be cancelable. They will cancel you for absolutely nothing. If the right person with enough followers tweets the hashtag, you're done. So why were all the sequel trilogy actors and actresses safe? Surely they could have found something on one of those actors. Well, I hate to say this, but I believe it all falls back to Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. I really think that they're just jealous of the Filoniverse and that the High Republic isn't going to perform as well. Not only that, but I think Kathleen Kennedy believes John and Dave are a threat to her job, and obviously she wants to keep that job forever. I mean, fans have been telling her for 5 years now that she's not a good fit for Lucasfilm, and I know she's seen it. I know she's heard that. She obviously just doesn't care if she's a good fit or not. She has to know herself that she's not a good fit because of how many directors and writers have been fired off of projects. That's your main job, and you can't even do that right. Because they fired Gina Carano and they showed that they will conform to the woke mob, now the woke mob knows that they can make changes at Lucasfilm. Now they call the shots. Pretty much the casting of future Star Wars shows is in the hands of the woke mob. But there is something going on at Lucasfilm right now where Kathleen Kennedy feels threatened and she wants to end the Mandalorian. She wants to end the Filoniverse. And there's really no debating that. But the way that she's going about canceling the Filoniverse is just so strange. She knows she can't straight up cancel the Mandalorian because it's a huge money machine and it's a huge draw to Disney Plus. If she were to straight up cancel that show, the Disney higher ups would not be happy at all. That would lose them so much money because I'm sure a lot of people are just subbed to Disney Plus for the Mandalorian season 3, which we're not going to get for 1.5 to 2 years, but that's for another time. But since she can't do that, she's going to power grab as much as possible, and she's going to cancel all the actors and actresses that she can inside of the Filoniverse. And I know Kathleen Kennedy isn't on Twitter herself tweeting out the hashtag, but I have a very strong suspicion that they're sending out these people to start the hashtag. Now look, obviously I have no proof, but don't you think it's a little bit suspicious that only the Mandalorian actors and actresses are getting canceled? I mean, we have Gina Carano, then Rosario Dawson, now Bill Burr, and you just know Carl Weathers is coming next because he's defending Gina Carano, or at least somewhat defending her on Twitter. He's defending her as much as he can without getting canceled, but I think even that will get him canceled. Or if it's not going to be Carl Weathers, it'll be someone else on the Mandalorian or in the Filoniverse. I'm sure you could find enough to cancel someone for pretty much anyone in that universe. Probably even John and Dave, because you really don't need much to get someone canceled nowadays. You just have to slip up and say one word wrong, and that's the end of your career. But thank God Bill Burr doesn't need Disney. He doesn't need Lucasfilm or Star Wars. If Bill Burr gets fired from Star Wars, I'm sure he won't even bat an eye. I think he just does Star Wars for fun, honestly. Not that he doesn't take it seriously, but I just think his main passion is comedy, and he does play a little bit of a comedic role in Star Wars, but you know what I mean. His passion is stand-up comedy. So if he gets fired from Star Wars, he just does more stand-up. But for people like Gina Carano, who their passion is acting, or Rosario Dawson or Carl Weathers, who their passion is acting, it's very easy for you to get canceled and to get blacklisted in those areas. For Gina Carano, she'll probably never work in normal Hollywood again, and that's just insane. Even for someone who did something bad or said something bad on Twitter, deserves a second chance. And Gina Carano didn't even say anything bad. As far as Rosario Dawson, that story is just stupid. Apparently she got sued for assault, but then all the charges were dropped, and I think she got sued for assault for like misgendering someone. And once again, all the charges were dropped. And Rosario Dawson is extremely left-leaning. I believe she's married to a Democratic senator. So that just proves that the left, the woke mob, will even eat their own people. And I do want to make it clear once again that I don't identify with the left or the right. I don't know what the hell I am. I'm just trying to expose the hypocrisy. And if I see hypocrisy on the right, I'll expose that. If I see it on the left, I'll expose that. But I'm really just here to talk about Star Wars. And it's just sad that the woke mob is allowed to interfere with greatness. The only thing that was almost universally liked in Star Wars is The Mandalorian. And it seemed like the Filoniverse was going to head in that same direction. But at the very least, Lucasfilm is allowing the woke mob to ruin that. You know Bill Burr is getting fired soon. You know it's going to happen. Or even if they don't announce that he's fired, they just won't bring him back for season 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rosario Dawson is next, but I think it's even more likely that it'll be Carl Weathers because he's showing support for Gina Carano. I just want to be able to have TV shows and movies without having to talk about this stuff anymore. Why do politics have to be so prominent inside of visual media? It's supposed to be an escape, and it's really just not that anymore. The Mandalorian was for season 1 and season 2, but season 3 will not be the same, I promise you. It's not going to be the same Mandalorian that we know. And that's because of Kathleen Kennedy wanting to ruin the Filoniverse. If you hate Kathleen Kennedy as much as I do, check out my Ruined by Kathleen Kennedy merch, and let me know what you guys think about the Mandalorian cast getting canceled in the comments. I think it's pretty stupid and it makes me pretty mad, but I'm really just not surprised at this point. It's obvious that there's a conspiracy against the Mandalorian because nobody else in Star Wars is getting canceled. Nobody. There's been 5 movies, and you're trying to tell me the first successful TV show everyone gets canceled? Either John and Dave are extremely alt-right and they're just hiring horrible people to work on their shows, or there's a conspiracy against the Mandalorian. You tell me which one's more likely. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description. But thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.